mistakes that are stopping you from improving and reaching your chess goals. I made them all in one single tournament. Let's see how you can avoid them. We are in 2008. I was at my first ever Youth World Chess Championship. I was 9 and I traveled the entire world to play this tournament in Vietnam. Round 1, I made 2 big mistakes. I am with the white pieces and I'm playing against the Sicilian. I played the open Sicilian and I knew just one single plan. So I developed my bishops, perfect, and then I played the move f3 because you know why? I want to stop this knight from getting here and trading the knight for the bishop. Okay, we develop all the pieces and now we have a critical moment. All the pieces are developed for me, right? And we have opposite side castling. This means that my plan is very clear. I have to push those pawns to open up files where my opponent king is and then to try to give checkmate. And this bishop is very important because I can trade it for this other bishop by playing the move bishop h6. I think I played quite good. My opponent is attacking a bishop, I went back, they are attacking, and I start my attack. Now there are a few trades. This is not really a mistake, but I want to tell you something to pay attention. Usually beginners love trades, so every time they see a trade, they just do it. But do not trade without any reason, just trade if it's convenient for you. I traded and my opponent traded. That's very typical. Now she went out with the bishop, I pushed, and I'm starting to bring the other rook to the attack. And now the first mistake. Do not push the pawns in front of your king. She played the move f6, which is a big mistake, because the king gets suddenly much weaker. And what is getting weaker? Well, this square and this pawn. Now this pawn can be attacked, it's already attacked once, but if the pawn is attacked one more time, it's not so easy to do it, but it will be attacked a second time, it will be hanging. So do not do that. I bring the other rook to the attack, king goes to f7, I took and slided my rook all the way. I'm about to give checkmate. I was confident here. Rook here, my opponent is protecting, and now I thought about, okay, I'm not giving checkmate just with the rooks, I need to bring the other pieces, and so I went with the knight. Now she's attacking my knight, and I went with the knight here. What am I doing? I'm attacking this little pony. Can you guys see what am I playing after the move e5? I'm not going to tell you, but let me know in the comments. So queen b6 is what she played. e5 would have been a big mistake, and now she is threatening the move e5 because I don't have anymore the move that I had before. I played the move queen d2 with the idea of unpinning my queen, and now she played e5 no matter what because this is a fork. But attention, this is a big mistake. Starting too much opening and not doing the tactics. Guys, go check out your last 10 losses. I bet, okay, let's not bet everything I have, but I believe that many of you will have lost the game because of a missed tactic, of a tactic blunder. That's why this is so important. Here, I have a winning move, but I didn't find it. I play knight d5, I lost a piece, and I lost the entire game a few moves later. Instead here, I have an insane move. Stop if you want to find yourself is knight f5. And here basically black has 3 options. They can take with the pawn here, they can take with the pawn here, or they can take with the bishop here. If they take with the pawn here, this is beautiful. I go with the queen, the bishop cannot cover because I can simply take it for free, and the king has to move. If king here, I think I just have a check here with the knight. So let's say the king goes here, I can give a check. The king tries to run, is basically the only way, but then this rook is hanging. If the pawn takes the other knight, I can now take here. And after a check, I slide my queen. If the king goes back, I give a check and then I win the other rook. So bishop e6 seems like the only move, but now I can take, king takes, and take here. And the material is equal here, but I'm going to give checkmate. There are so many threats. Queen here, queen h3, for example, queen c7 protecting this check. Then I go with the queen here and I'm going to give mate or to win the rook. This is game over. Last possibility, if she would have taken with the bishop, I have queen d5. Now where is the king going? Needs to go here to keep the rook protected, right? Now I can take. The only move that makes sense is to try to at least be a piece up. But now I take here. I'm threatening checkmate on f7. Queen c7 is the only move stopping, and now an amazing move. Rook takes g7. If the rook takes, I'm going to give a check and I'm winning the other rook. If queen takes, I have rook h7. And the queen cannot go anywhere. Can just take this pawn. But then I have check, king here, mate. In game 2, I made the other 2 big mistakes. I'm with the black pieces, and as always, I'm just developing everything. This is very normal. She now went immediately with the knight on d5, but that's not really a big issue. I kept developing my pieces. Now, I had a plan. If you've watched the previous videos, you know that I'm an attacking player, and I wanted to go with long castle, followed by g5, g4. I loved opposite side castling because that gave me a chance to attack. She played the move c3, and now I took the knight in the center because I thought like, okay, but I cannot never push this pawn as long as this knight is here because she will be taking, and well, it would be a royal fork. So I decided to take here, pawn takes, and I went with the knight here. I'm now attacking this pawn, and now get ready, the first mistake. The pawn is pushed, attacking this bishop. And one mistake is that you are not counting attackers and defenders. Okay, so the pawn is attacking this bishop. The pawn has a value of 1, the bishop has a value of 3, so I have to move this bishop. But attention, because this pawn is also attacking this other pawn. And how many times is this pawn attacked? Well, this pawn is attacked twice, and is protected just once. So if I don't do something about it, I will lose it. So the right continuation would be to take here, and after pawn takes, to move the bishop. I think that I was scared about some sort of attack over the e-file, but honestly here, I can simply castle. And there is no piece hanging, I can move this knight next, and I have a nice position. Instead, I played the move bishop b6, and after pawn takes, I lost the pawn. Now the queen is under attack, and the bishop is joining. This doesn't look any good. I don't know how, but I survived. I castled knight g6, and now the queen is attacked, and this knight is attacked. I have just 1 square to go, and this here, I'm protecting this knight. And now she traded, which is good, and then she went back with the bishop. I went with the rook attacking this pawn. I'm just a pawn down, but I found a nice way to keep going. c4, and I activate my queen, attacking the bishop. The bishop has to go. And now I played c6, I'm challenging this little pony. Here she should have played maybe d6, pushing this pawn, or rook c1, activating this rook, or queen c1, removing the queen away from this file where the rook is looking at the queen. She played rook e1, which is a mistake, because I have a strong move, queen f5. I'm attacking this pawn and this pawn at the same time. So after queen c2, I traded the queen, took the pawn, and offered a draw. Yes. This is the 4th mistake. Don't be scared of losing. I was so scared, but this is stopping me from improving. Here there is an amazing endgame where I have an amazing chance to improve so much. It's true, maybe white is a little bit better because they have the bishop here, but the knights are very tricky, and I lost a chance to learn. Next game. 2 big lessons from this game. I have the white pieces, and I'm playing, she was wearing the football shirt of Italy. I was very confused. So e4 c5, I developed my pieces and I went for the open Sicilian. And now she played a line that I was not really knowing much about. But okay, I just developed my pieces as much as I could. I went for short castle, pinned this knight, and now I have a plan. I want to go with the knight out and then knight d5. I played h3 to stop the bishop from going here, and then knight d4. She developed and I went with the knight out. After king h8, I was really confused. I had no idea what to play. And this is a big mistake. Have you ever felt like you are in the middle game and you have no idea of what to play? Well, that's a problem, because if you don't have a plan, your opponent will have one and will destroy you. In this position, I should have understood that the d5 is a very important square, because there is a weak pawn that my opponent has here, and if she manages to play the move d5, she's solving all their problems. So the move to play, a very good plan, is to place a piece here. After bishop takes, I take back. This knight has to move. If the knight moves here, I'm very happy because I can take here, and these pawns are going to be really weak. So she has to move the knight probably back on b8 with the idea to go here. And now I can improve the worst piece. Those bishops are doing amazing. This bishop is pinning the queen and this bishop is looking at the king. But there is a piece that is not really having a fun time, and it's this knight, because it's completely blocked. Cannot go here, cannot go here. There are also the problems of pawn pushing, so knight e2 would be the great move. And if my opponent would be challenging this bishop, I could take this and then go with the knight to the center of the board. The queen has to move again, I could take, and now I have a very nice little pawn. This is called pass pawn, and can also be a protected pass pawn. This would be an amazing position. White is a bit better. And the reason why Engine says that this is a draw is just because I didn't try to stop the plan of black. Because black would like to push f5 to push e4. That's why before playing the move c4, you can play a move to stop the move f5. And there are 3 moves that are doing the job here. Bishop f5, Queen f3 or Queen g4. You can play first this move to stop the plan of black and then play the move c4 and you will end up with a better position. What happens if you play without a plan? Well, look at my opponent. She had a very clear plan here, which is to play h6, g5, bring the queen to g7 and then to keep going with the attack and to give me checkmate. And I couldn't do anything to stop king. What is king h2? What is rook here? What am I doing? Nothing. Honestly, nothing. Ah! I was about to spill water. Okay, saved. Okay, h6, I went back, and g5. g4, she's killing me. I went back with the knight, she broke the queen, I went back with the bishop, and she went on with the knight. a3, I really have no idea what to play here. She took, I took, knight e4, I already lost a pawn. I moved the queen, she pushed, I attacked the bishop, and try this. I like this move. I'm trying to block, not to open up the files. She went with a 5. I mean, she's going all in. And I played the move f3 just because I don't want to get my bishop trapped. So this feels necessary. After pawn takes, I took back f4 and I went back with the bishop. Now, this is a bonus. It's not really, well, it's a mistake of my opponent. So she played knight d2, which, what? It's a free piece, but she had an idea. She sacrificed a piece because she wanted to play the move e4, which she thought she was really strong because attacking the queen doesn't have many squares. She's going all in with all the pawns. But here, bonus, how to convert an attack into a win. First of all, you have to play with all your pieces, and that's why I really love this idea of rook f8. This idea is not just to bring the rook into the game, but to bring it in a smart way, because you want to play bishop g4 and f3 next, just smashing it all. And this is why I would have been this is how I would have been completely lost. I have no move here whatsoever. I mean, the best move of the engine is a4, which has no purpose. I mean, we want to attack the bishop, congratulations. And here, after this, the queen moves and f3, I'm completely lost. If pawn takes, I can just move this bishop back, and I'm threatening mate here, which cannot be stopped. I mean, knight g3 is stopping it, but you just win a piece and you still are attacking the rook and giving checkmate very soon. So she went with this move. I'm a piece up. Now she wants to attack the queen and then keep pushing this pawn. I'm counter-attacking the queen. This was very smart. And now another move that is not really good, because now I was very happy to give back the piece and then to take the pawn. Now we have equal material. Actually, I have an extra pawn, but hey, she's still attacking me. She went with the bishop here. I took this other pawn, and now I'm very happy. I have nearly a winning position. This is a blunder. And now we have, again, mistake number 2. Don't study too much openings if then you blunder on the tactic. Let me know in the comment what is the best move for white here. I took a pawn, which was a bad blunder, because after queen here, I lose a rook and I lost the game. Round 4 and 2 very important mistakes. Mistake number 1, well, number 6 is king security. Let's go. We are developing all the pieces, castling. I developed everything. h6, I'm attacking this bishop, and now my opponent played the move h4, which is very tricky. I looked at the bishop. I said, oh, there is a free cheese macaroni there. I'm taking it. And I just took it. I was aware that there are some chances to attack, but I underestimated completely. So mistake number 6 is to not keep your king safe, because after pawn takes, the knight has to leave and the queen is sliding gear, giving checkmate. So I have just one move, knight here, which is losing a pawn. Bing boom bang. And now how to stop the mate is really tough. If I play the move g6, the queen is just sliding gear and there is no way to stop a checkmate here. What I played the move check, just to say, hey king, you are going to get out of there. And at least I made her lose the possibility to castle. And now I play the move f5, which, if you see the bar, it's a bad move. Now, the queen is under attack, and one mistake that my opponent did. This is a critical moment. If you make the right move, you might win the game. So, in critical moment, if you don't take time to calculate, you make a mistake. My suggestion is to calculate at least 2 or 3 moves ahead when you are in an important moment. There are 2 main options that white has. Option number 1. Queen h4, with the idea of trying to give checkmate. Probably connected with g6, stopping the square, and then queen h7 or h8. Option number 2, to take this pawn, which which is a free pawn. So you need to consider that. After queen take h6, you see that the king has no square to go. So the only move is rook f7. And after rook f7, there is a move g6 that is just winning the rook. And with a rook up, you're probably winning. So this would have been the best move. Instead, queen h4 is what my opponent played, but there is a problem because the king can run away, and I think I was running like crazy. Oh, not yet. So I played the move c5. I wanted to counterattack this king because I said there is no mate. If she gives a check, I run. If she pushes this pawn, I trade the queens and there is no checkmate. So I wanted to open up the center. She went with check and I ran away. She went with check and I was running like a little chicken, but it's fine. She took a pawn. I have an extra piece, right? Okay, she took 3 pawns already, but hey, I still have an extra piece. Now, I'm offering the trade of queens, which is very good when your opponent is attacking you, and she took, and so I'm safe now. Now she pushed the pawn, I stopped this pawn, and we have an equal... Ooh, okay, another tactical blunder. Again, guys, this is so important. You lose your games because of a tactical blunder, so do your tactics. If not, you will keep losing your games, like I did. Well, I didn't lose. So before I move the knight away, I'm attacking this fork, threatening the fork. Rook h8, she wants to promote, huh? So I went with the king here, trade, she took my bishop, I took here, I moved the knight back. And after a few moves, I don't think this is really interesting, we end up in an endgame where we traded even another piece. I offered a draw one more time, and just again a mistake, because even if this endgame is a draw, I should try to play on. For example, here I should have given this check, not have 2 double pawns, that gives me no chance. The king has to move, and then I keep giving a check, I go back, and maybe I can think about playing the move e5 and start to create a pass pawn. I should try to play on this position, because I might lose it, but I can learn a lot from it. Game number 5. Here there is one important lesson, and it's about how to attack. So let's see. I am white, and we are developing all the pieces. This is very standard. We are in the gioco piano, or Gucci piano, like a streamer says. H3, castle, and here, you know, my plan is to go for long castle. This is the only plan I knew, and I always went for it. So she took here, and now the problem is I should take with the a pawn. Always take towards the center. Instead I take with the c pawn, which makes my king a little bit weak. But never mind, this is a small mistake. d5, there is a fork here, so I just moved my bishop back. d4, knight b1. This looks quite ugly. Queen d6, knight a3, I'm trying to reactivate my knight. And now finally, I'm starting to go for the attack. Knight h7, king b1, and a4. Both sides are really attacking, and here I'm about to commit a very big mistake. So I played knight here, attacking the queen moves, and b4. I like this move because I'm avoiding the trades of pawns, and when you avoid the trade of pawns, the files are staying closed. So that's very good when your opponent wants to attack. Now she took, I took this pawn, rook fd8, and I played a mistake, queen f3. I know I'm threatening this move that looks nice, but this can be easily stopped. Instead, when you are attacking, don't be scared of making sacrifices. Here there is an amazing move that is g5. I'm threatening to take here, open up the file, joining with the rook. The queen is joining the party. This is going to be mate really quickly. If she takes, here you can play the move h5. And if she takes, this is basically lost. There's queen h5, take here, going to give mate. Don't be scared of making sacrifices. And if she doesn't take, I'm going to take here next. The h file is going to be open anyway. I go with the queen here. I'm threatening this pawn and this knight at the same time. I would win this game. Instead, I played queen f3, which is a simple threat that can easily be protected with the move f6. I have to move my knight, and now my opponent has also the chances to keep her attack. I went with the knight here. I want to give this fork. I played for tricks, come on. She went with knight here, traded, and took back with the queen. I moved my rook, and now I don't have any more attack, basically. She's starting to attack me. She's threatening to take here, and their attack was really strong. You know why? Because she wasn't scared of sacrificing. Yes, if I take, I saw that I'm going to get mated in a few moves after this. The rook is joining, and I don't have a way to escape because this is checkmate. So here I didn't take, but I played the rook b1, but here the rook is joining the party anyway. I tried to trade the queens, but my opponent went with this very smart move. Now if I take, that's checkmate. Ouch. So I took here, she took with the queen because she wants to avoid the trade. Now I went with the queen here and she's pushing the pawn. I'm getting demolished. I moved the rook away, pawn takes, I moved the king, and this is checkmate. Oh, sorry. Checkmate at the next move because you can just promote another queen. Mistake number 9 and 10. I was playing with the black pieces and she played the central game, and now I think I played a very practical approach. She's playing a gambit and I just went with the move d5. You can take back my pawn, but I will have a very good position. This is very smart. I now develop my piece and I'm taking there. So material is completely equal. I'm very quick to develop and I did it and I castle. Safe position. But now I'm about to make a big mistake. Queen d6. Beginners tends to go out with their queen a little bit too early. Instead, you should first develop all your pieces and then move the queen. GM Studer in his blog says you should treat your queen as your quarterback. I have no idea about football, but I think the quarterback should be back. I mean, quarterback. I don't know. The queen needs to be back, okay? Because it can be easily attacked by all the other pieces. For example, a very smart move would be to play knight b5. This queen is under attack, and the best move here is to go all the way back with the queen. What an amazing success. Anyway, my opponent just developed the bishop, and I completed my development, and now it's quite good. After the move a6, my queen cannot be easily attacked, so it's fine. But I'm doing a big mistake very soon. Now I'm improving my pieces. I like how I'm playing. I'm playing with the energy, you know, improving, going up with the knight. We are going to trade a little bit, which is okay. And now I go with the queen. I'm putting the queen there, looking at the king on g2. If this knight moves, I'm going to take here. h4, h6. Knight has to leave, and if the knight leaves, I know exactly that I'm going to play that move. She played d6, which is it's a fun move. This bishop is getting opened up, and there is a threat to take on f7. So I have to take this knight. And after a bit of trades, she took back, I took this pawn, and she took here. And now, guys, a big mistake. Do not trade the queens when you are attacking. I played the move queen takes h6, trading the queens. Instead here, I have an amazing move. Bishop e4. I'm just threatening mate, and there is no way, no smart way to protect it. f3 you just take, and the move is queen f1, the best move. But now you can just bring the knight and maybe bring the rook at some point. This is a very nice attack. Do not trade the queens like I did, because a few moves later we traded everything, and yes, and we are in this endgame, and another draw, which is really terrible here because I have an extra pawn. Why did I offer a draw? Because I was scared. For me, at this point, I had this equation. Your results equal your value. I lose, I'm trash. I win, I'm good. So a draw was a way to avoid a loss for me, which is a very big mistake because you stop improving. I was a very tough kid, honestly. But okay, mistake number 11. I'm with the white pieces and I'm facing the pierce defense. I go with the 2 pawns in the center of the board. Actually, my opponent played basically the hippo, where it's a fun opening where you develop your knight this fun way and then you go with the 2 bishop in fianchetto. Yeah, she really did this. And I went for my typical plan, long castle. She played a6 and I traded this bishop. This is like a very good plan because now I'm trading that bishop and then I'm going on with my attack. I knew it, h4. She played h5, and that's why actually here, if I can tell you, you might consider playing the move g4 first because you're stopping the move h5. So you can play g4 followed by h4 and h5. Anyway, this move is also fine because I can just sacrifice this. I think this could be a really reasonable thing to just sacrifice it all. To just play like this. This is like playable, like really okay. But of course there is no need to go for crazy sacrifices. I play knight g5, bishop here, and g4. Now I sacrifice the pawn because I don't lose a knight. So she didn't take, and this was very, very smart, and she played knight f6, bringing the knight to protection and attacking those pawns. After takes, I played bishop e2, attacking the knight, rook h8, protecting. I brought the rook to the g file and c5. Now, mistake number 11. Think just one move at a time. Beginners do that. They see a threat, okay, let's defend it. Oh, this piece is under attack, let's protect it. Oh, let's do this move, so I'm threatening to take this pawn. Instead, you should think about the entire plan of action. In this position, I need to ask myself, how am I going to pull through my attack? I understand that this knight is a bit annoying, because it's stopping me from pushing this pawn, from opening up files, from bringing the rooks and the queens to the attack. So I have to do something about it. One way is to take here, but then you might say, okay, the rook is taking back and I'm not achieving much. How to get rid of a piece on h5? You have to get some friends to help you. So taking here could be a great idea, and after this move, you can consider playing the move knight e2, knight f4, and h5. Now you have always to check for tactical reasons, but I think this move might just work. Yeah, it's fine. And you know what is the best move of the engine here? Is to sacrifice the rook. It's crazy. And after pawn takes, you have an exchange up, you are attacking, and you're much better. So this plan would have been so powerful. Instead I played f4, honestly, as the idea to keep going with f5, but what am I doing next? Okay, she played b4, so she's attacking me, I moved my knight away. And then I think I took a pawn. And now again, I have a position where I have to take a very hard decision. Push this pawn, push this other pawn. But it was really not easy. Here, f5 is very powerful, but it's such an hard move to find. Because you see, okay, this pawn is hanging, she can take this way. And this pawn is actually just a free pawn, because she could just take. Now the point here that the best move is not taking back, but pushing. Because I want to play e6. But that's very hard to see. In this case, I just took this bishop, she took back, and I moved my king away. I didn't know how to go on. And after a few moves, we traded many pieces, and I got a tough position maybe here. It was fine, I just moved my knight back, she gave a check, I was hiding my king, took another pawn, trading, like a grandmaster, you know, giving a check. And as you might imagine, the result of this game was a grandmaster draw. Mistake number 12 and 13. We are at round number 7, and very normal development. We are in the gioco piano, I castled short. Very strange. I think the bad experience of the previous games made me change my strategy and go for short castle. And now I play the move d5, which is very smart. I'm attacking the center, opening up, trading everything like a pro, and I have a very nice position. Now I should bring the rooks to the party. Perfect. Play this move, trade it again, and I get this position, which is actually quite decent because I can use my knight to attack, maybe. She played d4, and again, I traded. Remember this, guys, this is a bonus idea. Do not trade unless you have to. Well, unless it brings you something. So do not trade just because you think, okay, it's cool to trade. Sometimes trading is not really a good idea. Knight here. Mistake number 12. Do not put your pieces to the side of the board. A knight is much more powerful to the center of the board. For example, here could have been a better idea to go with knight here and try to bring the knight to f5. And the knight here is attacking this pawn. There is a little problem because the knight here can be pinned by this bishop. Not so easy to play on here, but hey, I play knight on the side, which is not good. There is a clear idea. I'm attacking this bishop, I want to trade, and if this bishop moves here, this pawn will be hanging. Oh wait, the pawn... What am I talking about? This bishop is just hanging. Okay. Bishop a4 anyways what my opponent played, attacking the rook, and after c6, this knight is in big danger because it can be blocked. Imagine rook here followed by b4, and this knight is completely lost. And if I push this pawn to save the knight, she can just take here, winning the rooks. That's a catastrophe. Luckily, she played the move bishop here. I didn't trade here. What a surprise. I played rook here, and now, guys, she played queen d3. Tactics. What did I miss here? I traded my queens. What a blunder. And I played rook e4, attacking the pawn. And after a few traded, we got to this pawn endgame, where I played the move c5. Here, guys, this endgame is a win, but it's not so easy. So the mistake number 13 is don't study endgames. Pawns and rook endgames are the most typical endgames. So you have to focus on pawns and rooks endgames. Those are very important. Here, this c5 is a mistake for a very simple reason. My opponent can simply push. They have a pass pawn protected. I also have a pass pawn, a protected pass pawn, but I don't have to help my opponent to find one. Instead, a very good way to try to win would be to play the move b5. If my opponent takes, the nice part is that now all those pawns are weak and I can just use my king like a Pac-Man and go collect them. How do I actually win? To put the king here. King has to stay around, let's say the move b4 just to try to hold, and now I can just throw this pawn out of the window. So the king has to go take, and now I take here. I'm going to be Pac-Man, take all the other pawns, and then push him baby and promote and win. Of course here my opponent can play a little bit better. She doesn't have to take here, but she can play king f3, trying to wait. And here to win is quite complicated. You first have to push this pawn forward, then to take, let's see some moves, to take, to push even forward, and then at the end to try to go with the queen towards those pawns, to try to take them. You have to force your opponent, basically at this point your opponent has to push the pawn, and now you go back with the king, you trade, you use that pawn to be pushed, and you promote, and now you have to trade the queens and then win, because this king is going to take this pawn and promote this one. This is insane, right? But after check, you trade the queens, and now you are the first one to promote. And here you win by bringing the king close. The queen is stopping, The queen is stopping the promotion. You stop the promotion, the opponent is pushing. You go with the king, and now you take the pawn. Luckily, the pawn cannot be promoted because it's pinned. The king moves, you go here, promotion to queen, and checkmate. It's very hard to calculate all this, of course, especially for a kid, unless you're Magnus Carlsen, but at least from a very simple point of view, c5 is a mistake because I create a pass pawn, and b5 is fighting for weakening the pawn structure of my opponent. Guys, I won one game in this tournament. And let's see mistake number 14. Okay, this is a very satisfying game. My opponent played a very fancy move here, knight take e5. If you've seen my previous videos, you might be familiar with this move. It's a very clear idea. You sacrifice a piece to then give this fork. But this move doesn't work when you have your bishop on c4, because black can just take here and won in the second piece, and now you just take one piece, you're a piece down. Now it was amazing because I went here, I traded the queens, I traded even more material, and here we are at mistake number 14. You shouldn't trade pieces when you are losing. You lost a piece, okay, it's not the end of the world, you can still fight on. But my opponent basically helped me to trade everything. She went out with the knight here, trading the queens, perfect. Then she went with the bishop here, trading the bishop. And now, okay, she traded also the knight. And so this is like, made my life super easy, also trading the rooks, perfect. And now I just won, well, with this very nice tactic, because it's a discovery check, I'm attacking the rook, I took the rook and won this endgame. Last but not least, mistake number 15. We are at round 10, which is the last round I played, because in 11 I got a forfeit and I got a 3 point. Okay, we are in the Sicilian, open Sicilian, and as you know, this is my common plan. I go with the bishop out, I develop the other bishop, and now I play the move f3, which is my typical idea because I want to stop the knight from getting there. But here we have a problem, because in this situation, Sicilian with e6, actually to castle long is not a good idea, because this bishop is already annoying, d5 is incoming, and also f3 is just not good. Here I should just castle. Castle is a very good move. My opponent was very well prepared. She played the move d5. After pawn takes, I'm already in trouble. I realized that castling long is not really good because this file is already open. My opponent can really put lots of pressure on this piece, and so I castled short. But now, mistake number 15. Never play f3 without a reason. This diagonal is going to be very weak, and you'll see what happens. So after a few moves, I'm trading a couple of pieces, and I traded. My opponent was very smart to trade that bishop. I take back with the rook, and now we get to this position. I'm bringing the rook here because I want to put pressure on this pawn. A very strategical idea here is that this pawn is isolated, so cannot be protected by other pawns. So to put pressure is the right plan. She played h6, and here, a big mistake. I played bishop c4. I want to attack this pawn, and I'm attacking it a third time. She cannot push because she loses a rook. But here, the problem of f3. This diagonal is so weak that my opponent has the intermezzo check. And after I move my king, I lost a piece and ended up losing this game. Hope you guys enjoyed these games and these lessons. If I could give a suggestion to my little self, would be don't identify with your results. You are not what you achieve. You are the journey you make. Losing is part of the journey because just like this, you can improve. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want, you can check out my first ever chess tournament. Thank you for following my journey. See you guys next time.